So for those watching us on video, we've just dug deeply into what is our motivation, because that's a critical part to being successful, is to understand what your motivating factor is, and then hang on to that, because that's the thing that will see you through the events and the things that normally bring us undone. So while we're talking about that, Paul also talked a lot about triggers. And I was thinking about this tonight in the shower, what a good explanation I could have of that. So 95% of what we do is subconscious. Most of us know that, don't we? So when we leave here and we go out into our car and we put the key in and we start the car, or push the button nowadays, look over our shoulder, put our seatbelt on, select reverse, put our foot on accelerator. We'll do all of that without really thinking about it, because we've got muscle memory and it's a subconscious program that's running. Now, most of our subconscious programs actually are in by the time we're 7 years of age, and that's another thing I do with a separate entity, is work on that. But we have triggers around food and exercise that we need to do some work to unravel. So, and as we discover those things about ourselves, it becomes easier to circumvent them. So my example is actually around coffee. So my husband won't like this too much, but anyway, he sells coffee, those of you who don't know. One of the things I do is DNA screening, which is a really big test in a 100-page report, and it tells us all about our DNA and what different little SNPs we've got. And I did my DNA report several years ago, and I have the caffeine gene. So what that means is that it takes me sort of 16 to 20 hours to metabolise a dose of coffee, instead of 6 to 8, like somebody without the gene. And I only got one coffee a day on my way to work, but I was highly addicted to that cup of coffee. And by the time I drove to work and drank it, and I was usually finished before I was in the back door, I had tachycardia and I was affected by that coffee, but I was very addicted to it. And anyone who has a caffeine addiction and travels, that's when you really learn about your addiction. When you spend the first hour of your day in a foreign city trying to find a coffee that you like. So I knew I had an addiction to coffee, and when the DNA report came back, I knew it was harmful to me. So more than 2 cups of coffee a day to a person with my gene doubles my risk of heart disease. Double. 2 cups a day. I was only having one, but it was symptomatic. Then every time I'd go on retreat, and we do beautiful spiritual retreats where we don't serve any coffee, I would come off the coffee and go through severe withdrawals. Feel like there was clamps at the back of my head, really bad headaches, hated it. And I did this 2 or 3 times a year. Every time I go on retreat, I'd go through all this pain of withdrawing, and then the Saturday morning the retreat was over, the first thing I do is go and get a coffee. And it took me 9 months of knowing that I had that gene and going through the pain of withdrawal till finally one day I was like, you're kidding yourself, just stay on decaf, it tastes the same. And now I can't tell you how much better my life is not being addicted to coffee, because I sleep really well, my energy's the same all day long. I still can have a coffee when I want it. I have a decaf almond latte, also known as a why bother, but it keeps me quite, happy. And when you travel, oh God, fantastic not to be addicted to coffee, because you just get up and go. So there will be triggers in all of us around food and social situations, and when you identify one of those, just dig deep like you did tonight and look at why, and then avoid the trigger as much as you can. So in Paul's CD I was listening to, he realised that walking past Dan Murphy's on his way home was a trigger, because he'd end up with a bottle of wine. So work out what the triggers are, and that's part of motivation, is working on your triggers. Okay, so I mentioned before about the other, so unique things about this program are the diet breaks and the set point philosophy. The other unique point is using a probiotic. So studies on the microbiome have just gone absolutely ballistic in the last 10 years. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of studies about the importance of our microbiome. Now, I go to a lot of seminars, but they're talking about us only being about 2% human. The rest of us is bugs, that we're just a colony for bugs. So what our condition of our gut flora is really important to all of our health, to our mental health, our body composition, everything. So they've finally found a strain of probiotic that works at maintaining weight loss. So this is, again, really, really interesting data. So they showed that it halts increasing set points. So these are on people that they didn't do anything else except put them on a probiotic, and showed that those without it continued to gain weight, and those that took the probiotic, so the orange lines are people who took the probiotic, and the blue bars are the people that were on a placebo. So they didn't know if they'd taken the probiotic or not. So their waist measurement and their fat mass continued to rise. So the thing I love about this probiotic is it's one a day, which is really, really good for convenience and compliance. You do still need to keep it in the fridge, but it's one capsule a day, and then we've got some really good evidence around that. So that's the only medication that's actually, or supplementation that's included in the program as part of it. So what are the principles of the diet? Like we said, low to moderate palatability, so not that combination of sugar and carbohydrate that tastes fantastic. Adequate protein, fat or carbohydrate restriction, diet breaks, which we've explained, adequate sleep and physical exercise. So we know that if you don't sleep well, you'll gain weight. You have high cortisol levels and your body thinks you're at war and it will hold weight. And this is a problem for a lot of people that have got their own businesses and stressed and overworked and not sleeping well. So if that is an issue for you, we will, as practitioners, address that in the program. Physical activity. So we talked about what we're designed for, 22,000 steps a day. So this program is asking you to do 30 minutes 6 times a week. So humans function best, exercise is the most beneficial for humans first thing in the morning, 6 to 8 a.m. So I highly advise if any way you can change your routine to exercise in the morning when your cortisol's at its highest, that's fantastic. But if you can't, so long as you're doing the exercise. So in the little manual that comes with the program is all sorts of really great ideas of things that are really easy to do and you can do at home. So who's heard of high intensity interval training? Okay. So it is still the most evidence-based, quickest way to improve your fitness and your body composition. So who's done interval training, high intensity? Yeah? Okay. So you can do this at home, and you can just do, has anyone done planking? Okay. So planking, Ivana's been on a planking challenge since last year. How long are you up to now? A minute?
Over a minute.
Over a minute.
Yeah.
And what were you when we started?
Not even 20 seconds.
20 seconds. So a plank is something that, you know, if you get to 2 minutes, fantastic. So you've got to have 2 minutes a day to do a plank, and we'll show you how to do it if you don't know how to do a plank. But I thought we would just do 30 seconds just to give ourselves a little bit of an idea of what interval training's like. All right, so everyone stand up, make some room. All right, it's going a little bit challenging in heels. Go for it. So we're going to do 30 seconds, all right? But the first 10 seconds, I want you to go really, really hard, as fast as you can, and then you're going to keep the pedal on for another 20 seconds, all right? So I'll let you know when we've done 10. So you've got the music there, So we can all do that. Now the evidence shows it's Oh, I'm not. There was a study done in New South Wales where they only did 10 seconds on and 12 seconds off. So when you go for a walk, it can be just a little 10-second sprint, keep walking, sprint again. So interval training doesn't involve a lot of time. So we can all do that. If you did 30-second sprints and some planking between 6 and 8 in the morning, you'll get it there. All right? Okay, have a seat, everyone. No, I haven't got many other interactive things for you. So we'll help you find an exercise program that suits your lifestyle and that you like. But exercise is a crucial part of this program. Like we said about the sleep, it does increase hunger and disturbs our hormones. So if sleep is a problem for you, we do have to address that. So what we're going to do there is, anyone who wants to go on this program, Andrea will actually be doing the follow through, the weekly check-ins, all the rest of it, the weighing, measuring, VLA. But I will approve everyone to go on the program, and how I'll do that is through a health appraisal assessment that you'll do online. If you're one of my existing clients, I'll know whether you're ready for it. But if you fill in your appraisal and there's something really, really out of whack, we're not going to set you up for failure, put you on a diet program if there's a massive hormone issue, there's a massive sleep issue, there's a massive stress issue. We'll suggest that you come in, see me on a one-on-one, work with that first, and then transition onto the diet program. So that's just something we need to do as health professionals to be responsible. So tonight when we're finished, if anyone wants to come on the program, you'll see Andrea and we'll ring you and send you out the email for the questionnaire. So it's probably jumped ahead on me, has it? Oh yeah, this one was interesting. So energy intake increases by 385 calories following partial sleep deprivation. Food preference seems to favour higher fat, lower protein, and partial sleep deprivation is meta-analysis between 3.5 to 5.5 hours. So what they're saying is if you only got 3.5 to 5.5 hours sleep, you're going to need more calories and eat more calories. So people who think they can survive on 3 to 5 hours sleep are probably kidding themselves. There's not many people that can actually do that. So we do have to sort out your sleep. Now, self-monitoring. So once again, everything that's old is new again. So weighing and measuring and recording went out, but the evidence shows that self-monitoring is actually one of the most successful strategies with weight loss. So our program has a little journal, and very soon, hopefully within the next week, which will be included in the price, there'll be an app where you record your exercise, your sleep, your food intake, and as far as I know, they haven't quite finished it. Andrew and I will be able to access that data and check and see how you're going. So talk about accountability, big brother. Andrew and I will be watching. So, but that's so important for you, is the actual monitoring. I know someone who last year lost 14 kilos, and all she did was wrote down everything she ate. She was a young mum with little kids, and as lots of young mums do, was eating all the things the kids didn't eat. And once she started to write it down, she realised what her actual intake was a day, and lost 14 kilos in 1 year. So this is from a published journal. The single best predictor of successful weight loss is adherence to regular self-monitoring of dietary intake. So if you think that journaling's not important, it's actually extremely important. So it's a crucial part. Like I said, taking all the bits, put it into one everything that works. So this is our journey. We're going to do an intense phase, pulse, 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 till we get to our goal weight, and then wellness and practitioner support all the way, so that if hurdles come up, we can intervene with, okay, so you're going through a lot of stress, let's do a mood and stress appraisal, see if we need to correct that. You're travelling, you haven't been sleeping, what do we need to do to get your sleep pattern back into track? So we're not just offering weight loss, we're offering that whole lifestyle maintenance. Okay, so this is the way we've worked it out. The other thing is that the programs we've got, it's all upfront prepayment, and that is another part of compliance and commitment. It's like paying for a gym membership. If you pay for the gym membership, you are more likely to go. So we want people to succeed. So we've integrated everything into one package. So you get the book. Actually, can you pass me the recipe book, please, Andrea? So the recipe book that comes with it is absolutely brilliant. And we're going to soon snack on some of the things from the recipe book. But it's got the low-fat version, which is half the book, and the ketogenic version, that's the other half. And the recipes are really, really great. So we'll be trying out some of those. So it's got all those things in it. So there's an 8-week one, a 16-week, the 8-week one, sort of people wanting to lose up to 10 kilos. And our goal is that you've achieved that in 8 weeks, and then we put you on to maintenance. 16-week program, that's for 10 to 20 kilos, and a 24-week program, which is for 20 to 40 kilos. And then we can adjust depending on that. So what's in the programs, we've got flyers there, but they are all inclusive. So like I said, there is meal replacement, 1 meal a day, and something we prepared earlier. There's a whole heap of protein shakes available, but the one we've got tonight is the collagen one, and we'll explain that because it was so successful when it was launched, the collagen powder, that it sold out. We had none for the last 6 weeks, but it's also got some very great data on wrinkles and collagen rebuilding for joints and skin. So if you're going to drink a protein shake, you might as well get less wrinkles. So we've actually put that into the program, but if you go, no, I don't want to have a collagen shake, we have lots of other ones. We've got pea protein, we've got chocolate ones, we've got vanilla ones. So they are interchangeable, but there's one shake a day, and that collagen one, interestingly, you can put that into your coffee and have like a vanilla flavoured hot coffee. And the collagen powder has been used in the Bliss balls and also in the pumpkin dip. So there's 1 meal replacement a day, and then there's your two meals that are either ketogenic or low carbohydrate, or via the food lists. And you also, if you don't want to do a shake as a meal replacement, there's the keto bars, and they've got real chocolate on them. They're the cherry coconut there tonight to start. You can have 1 bar as a meal replacement, or you can have half a bar as a snack. So in the packages that we've done, you get shake, you get bars, you get urine sticks to measure that you're in ketosis, and you do that every morning, your first week. You get the recipe book, you get the app, a shaker, you get the journal, and then all the visits. So the visits will include an hour the first time to choose your program, get all your weights and measurements and everything done. Then alternating between phone visits and in-clinic visits, but they will be all booked in because that accountability to someone else is really, really important. Oh, that's right. Sorry, thank you, Emma. In the 16 and 24-week one, there's massages and cocoon treatments built in as well, because it's a big lifestyle change. So tonight, if you're interested in any of the programs, go and see Andrea. There's flyers on what's involved with the program. Then if you'd like us to give you a call and send you the online appraisal and book you in for your first visit, we can do that. If not, I hope that you got some benefit out of a little bit of a summary of where the weight loss industry is at this point in time, and that this, you know, we've got to find things that work because of those first few slides that I showed. So congratulations on making it here on such a hot, hot night. And we do have a reward for someone that came tonight. Demi, can we have the basket? So whichever name we draw out of the, you can draw, I'll hold the thing, will receive a $150 voucher as a credit off one of these programs. So if your name comes out of here, the universe is talking to you, I have to say.